G'day all, welcome back to Built by Chris. This is just a quick follow-up video to the video I put out last week about my pen turning. I've done a couple more pens since then, and I think I've, I won't say I mastered the art of applying the super glue finish, but I'm certainly getting better at it. I thought I might just take you through another pen turning, another quick one, and just show you what I've learnt, tell you what I've learned along the journey. The one I want to do is out of a piece of Huon pine. I got given a piece of Huon pine some time back. This is it here, and it's a lovely piece of timber, but the only problem is it's not really good for anything. So what I've done is I've made a few marks on it where I'm going to cut it out and try and get a few blanks to turn some pens out of. So if you want to see how I get to doing all that, follow me and let's go and have a look. Here I am at the lathe. I've got the mandrel in, I've got my spacers in on either end, I've got my bushings in, I've got the two blanks in, bushing in the middle there. Those bushings are what I'm turning down to, that's the size that I'm going to come down to. So everything's chucked up, ready to go. I've got the lathe set on my fast speed, so let's go ahead and turn these down. Alright, I think I'm down to where I want it to be. Still a little bit overhang over the bushings here, which is good because I'm going to turn that down with sandpaper anyway. So let me just take all this away. Move that out the way. And let's start sanding. Okay, let me go get the sandpaper and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my sandpaper. Time to start sanding down. This Huon pine really turns up nice. I can't wait to put a finish on it. Okay, next grit. That almost feels like it doesn't need any finish. That is absolutely smooth as. I love this. This is beautiful. But I've got to take it down a little bit further, so I've got to get a little bit more aggressive with it, just to take it down a little bit further. Just going through the finer grits again here, before I start applying the super glue finish. There you go, learn something new every day. Alright, again that's just beautiful, that's just polished up beautifully. Okay, let me go get the super glue ready and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, got it all polished, sanded down to a nice fine grit. I've changed the belt speed in here. I know it's a variable speed, but you've got three options here, low, medium and high. I've got it set on to low now so I can spin this very slow. I've got all these bits of paper cloth, paper towel cut up, and I'm going to start using these. Now the first one I'm going with is the thin CA, and I'm going to do about 4 or 5 coats of that. Then I'll sand back because it'll more than likely give me some ridges, so I'll sand that back and then I'll go on to the medium. So let's get started. So I'm just going to turn it up to about 600, 650, somewhere along there. Dab a little on, run it across. Dab a little on, run it across. and throw it away. The thing I did wrong the last time was I think I was trying to put on too much too quickly. Now if I give it enough time in between, so by the time I get my next little piece of paper towel ready, that should be dry enough for the second coat. So let's put the second coat on. So dab a little on, dab a little on. That's the second coat, and you throw that away. Now, I'm pretty sure you can hit it with a little bit of accelerator if you want, but there's really no need. Just get my next two pieces of paper towel ready. And away we go. And away we go. So that's 3 coats. I'll give it a few seconds just to set up. Now, as you can see, you probably can't see it in here, but it is getting shiny. And at the moment, it is lump free. So like I said, the slower you go, and that's all dried up, ready to go. And I can't feel any lumps or grooves or bumps in that. But I'm going to give it at least 3 more coats. Then I'll give it a very, very light sand just to show up if there are any that I can't see. And we'll move on to the next CA. So let's get a few more coats on for this one. Okay, from memory, I think that's 6 coats. So I'll give that a minute to dry. And again, it just looks really, really nice and smooth and flat. Still just a touch tacky. I suppose I could hit it with a little bit of accelerator now just to get it going, so I can do the so I can get the sandpaper ready. Okay, so I'm just going to take it down a little bit. Okay, that's beautiful. There's no lumps or bumps in that. So now I can go on and put 5 or 6 coats of the medium down. So this is the medium I'm putting on now. Throw that away, get the next one. Now the one thing I've learnt is there's no need to rush this part of it, because as soon as you start rushing across, I can see there's a couple of ridges forming here now. As soon as you start rushing this process, that's when you're going to start having your lumps and bumps. So I'll just I'll hit this with a little bit of accelerator, because I just want to speed up that drying process so I can have a look. Yeah, I can actually feel a few bumps here now. I'm not overly fussed with it because I can knock it down with a little bit of sandpaper and then put a few more coats on. But the slower you go with this process, the better. So let's hit it with a little bit of sandpaper. Just to knock it down a bit. Now I'm not pressing hard here. I'm just basically let the sandpaper do all the work. So let's have a feel of that. Okay, I can see there's still some shiny bits in here, so they're valleys where I haven't knocked it down far enough. Let's just get a clean piece of paper towel here and give this a quick rub. Now where those valleys are, I can actually feel a little bit of a divot, so I'm just going to give it a bit more of a hit with this sandpaper. Okay, that's back down nice and smooth again. So we'll put a few more coats of medium on it, and then we'll start the polishing process. Like I said, the slower you go with this process, the better your finish is going to be. There's really no need to rush through it. We'll just give that a few more seconds to cure properly. Hit it with a touch of accelerator just to speed it up a little bit. Now that is looking really good. Okay. I'll give it 2 more coats and then I'll start the polishing process. Beautiful. Okay. I'll start with a little bit of dry sanding first, just to make sure it's 100% nice and smooth, and then I'll get into the wet sanding. So give me a minute. Okay, just off camera I knocked it down a little bit more with the rough sandpaper. Now I've got my micro mesh pads here. They're all color coded for the various grits. Start with this one, which is the I'll tell you in a sec, the 1500 grit, and I'll work my way down. Okay, that's the 1500 grit. Next one is the 1800. Next one is the 2400. It's just progressing higher and higher in the grits, and all I'm doing basically is just polishing the super glue now. Okay, next one is the 3200. Ooh, smooth. Next one is the 3600, and then the 4000, and then the 6000. Now when you're using these finer grits, it feels like you're not doing anything at all, but trust me, there's a white slurry. I don't know if you can see it on this side of the camera, but there's a white slurry building up, so I'm definitely taking material off. But because it's progressively finer and finer, I'm just polishing. If you could feel that. Second last one is the 8000. This is the 8000 grit. And the last one is the 12,000. So it's literally, if you run your finger over it, you can't feel anything at all. But this is the one that really makes the big difference, I think. There we go. Turn that off. Yeah, I'll just dry it. Now that is beautiful and shiny. Beautiful and shiny. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, now the last thing that I do is I bought myself some of this. This is the Triple E Ultra Shine. Now it's the cut and polish wax for turners and restorers, and it's got a very fine abrasive in it. Now I'm just gonna rub it on. There we go, just rub that on there. Now I'll give it a few minutes. Doesn't take much, I'll just give it a few minutes. And then I'll buff it off. Turn it up to a fast speed because I try and get some heat into it. Buff that off. There we go. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Alright, take it out of the lathe now. That's the end part of that. Take it off the mandrel. Try and keep me in the same orientation so I don't bugger it up. So that's how I'm going to be pressing them together. They look really, really nice. That hue and pine really turns up nice. Alright, I'll go get myself set up with my pen press and we'll do the last part of this. Right, here I am now. There's my two pen blanks. Here's the kit. Take all the bits and pieces out. This is the gold one. The gold one. Okay. So I've got the clip. I've got the nib. Yeah, the front part of it. Yeah, I think that gold will look nice against that. This is the center ring, goes in between. This is the transmission. And that's the end cap that goes with this. And there's the pen itself. Alright. Let's bring the pen press over. Get everything all set up here. Okay, now I've got to work out which end goes where. Got my grain orientation still set right. So I think I'll make this end. The clip end. So put that in there, pop that in there. Tighten this up. And push it in. Got to take it nice and slow, make sure it's going in nice and straight. Here we go, that's seated all the way in. Beautiful. Next one is I'll do this end. Pop that in here. And press that in. Make sure it's in nice and square. There we go. Now the transmission. So I've got to open this up a little bit. I think that'll give me enough room, yep. Now again, there's a little groove around that and I'm not allowed to press it past that. So let's get that in there, pop that in there. And away we go. And we'll stop it right there. So that's in. Now the pen piece, I'll take the protective waxy coating off the end here. That goes in there, just screws in. And that's protruding nicely, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Put the gold band on and put it together. And there we have it. I'll get my grain roll lined up here. And there we have a Hue & Pine pen with gold accents. And that is as smooth can be. I love that. That's just turned out beautifully. Okay, let's pack up. And there it is, another pen. As I expected, putting down this super glue finish is just a matter of practice. Once you get it down, it turns out really nice and smooth. The trick is to do it slow, shouldn't be any rush, and it comes up really nice. So nice, in fact, that this one, if I wanted to, I'd be happy to sell. It come up that nice, I'd be happy to sell it. I wouldn't be guilty at all in taking money for this one. But I'm going to keep it because it's turned out really well. The Hue & Pine in this is absolutely spectacular. It's gorgeous. So I might make a few more. I've cut a few extra blanks, so I'll make a few more. And the gold accents with this one are really nice. But I will try one with a darker, maybe the black, or even the gunmetal accents. We'll see how we go. But anyway, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. But again, I ask, if you give me a thumbs down, please leave a comment as to why you gave me that thumbs down. That way I can make my videos a little bit better. And with that, I'll see you all next time, and bye for now.